Okay, so good morning, everybody. Today, I haven't done one of these for a few weeks now, but it's lovely to talk to my colleague Emma Austin. Emma, I've known for probably about 10 years now, with a different hat on. Emma, as I knew her then, was a chartered management and chartered tax accountant. And now she is a dog behaviourist and dog trainer. So good morning, Emma. Lovely to meet you again.
Good morning, Louise. It's lovely to be here.
So I guess my first question to you would be, what made you change from being a chartered accountant to a dog behaviourist? Because that is a very big change in career.
It is. So I enjoyed my accountancy business. And throughout that business, I had coaching to try and, grow the business, be more effective. And one of the things the coaches challenged me with is, what is it you love most about running your business? You focus on that and you employ people to do the other things. And over time, as we kept pulling at that thread, I realized there wasn't that much I fundamentally loved about what I did. So I had that question mark over continuing to grow that business. What I really loved was working with people, working directly with customers, being face to face, rather than a lot of accountants. They love sitting and doing accounts. And actually, I think it's very telling now, someone else does my accounts. I don't even do them myself. And throughout all of that time, since the children were very small, we had a dog who was very reactive, very difficult. And in fact, when I first set up my own business, which was when I was first a single parent, I also got a puppy. So I was in the dog training world throughout all of that time. So in fact, before I sold my business, I'd already done the training to be a dog trainer. So I already had a plan of action in my mind. So yeah, big change, lots of similarities though for me, working directly with people in a sort of area that's quite niche, which I do love.
So when you think of a well, maybe not right, but when you think of a dog trainer, obviously your first reaction is, oh, you're doing puppy classes, agility and that type of thing. But I know and you do that, but one of the things I know that you really love is the behavioural side of things. So dealing with owners and dogs that have got issues, which a lot of dogs do, and therefore the owners are kind of come to the end of their tether. So can you kind of give us some examples of the things that you work with?
Yeah, so dog training, where you go to a field and you're all in group classes, suits a certain cohort of dogs and owners. But there are lots of dogs who would be too anxious to be in that environment, or would just spend the whole class barking at the other dogs, and consequently learn very, very little. So the dogs that I work with as a behaviourist tend to be dogs with anxiety, phobias, reactivity, aggression to other dogs, or perhaps pain issues as well. I have a spaniel that I've been working with from when he was just less than a year, and he was in pain. And from the start, I said, I'm a behaviourist. I think your dog's in pain. And it's taken a year to get a diagnosis. And that's been with my help. And now with pain medication, we're able to do that training, which is fab.
So the owner came to you because she thought that the dog was doing something particular, and actually there was a fundamental thing underneath that.
Yeah, dog was biting. Dog had bitten owners more than once, and was volatile and unpredictable. So really, really affectionate one minute, and without any growling or barking, a bite straight off. And that's not unusual. If you're in pain, if you've got no language, you can't say. So the two biggest welfare issues for dogs in the UK are obesity and dental problems. And if you've got toothache and you're a dog, you've got nothing you can do. You can't say, "Oh, it's in here."
I know.
So you just tend to get crabby. You can imagine if you had toothache for years, it makes your behaviour less tolerant.
I mean, as you know, I'm a dog owner myself. My dog is 10, and actually, you know, they become a massive part of your family. You know, it's like having another child, or if you haven't got children, they become, you know, your children, like lots of animals do, cats and so on. And you would do anything to try and help that dog. Well, a lot of owners do, obviously not everyone. So what other kind of issues do you deal with other than the pain side of things? You said about aggression. I mean, I've been out walking my dog, and there's been some dogs on a lead, and the owners are like, have got hold of them, and you think, oh my God, don't go anywhere near that dog, just in case it turns and bites them, you know.
Yeah, so I deal a lot with anxiety and fear reactivity. That's probably the biggest one that we see. And that sounds like that dog that you just mentioned. Um, uh, and typically what happens is just when you're out walking a reactive dog, they'll see another dog and it's like half a mile away, and still your dog has seen them and it's starting to go into sort of fight, flight, freeze. They've gone really, really still. They're just looking at that other dog. And that's when the owners will be there frantically trying to turn the dog around, walk in the other direction. So if your dog is, you know, the calm and happy dog, best thing you can do with the reactive dog is just give them that little bit more space. And then eventually you can reintroduce them.
So here's a question: can you actually teach an old dog new tricks? Then, you know, is what you do for younger dogs, or can actually it be for any age and any type of dog?
Can absolutely be for any age. My only sort of caveat would be that the younger the dog, especially if they're still in critical developmental periods, the easier that work is. So for dogs, they say that they learn more in the first 16 weeks than in the rest of their lives. That does not mean that you can't carry on teaching them. Quite often, I don't know about you with your older dog, but I know with my old dog, Brandon, I don't do any training because, you know, we've got a good relationship, everything works, we have lots of fun, but you can train them and you can move their behaviour quite significantly.
What about the question of, you know, getting a dog, which I think a lot of people have done during lockdown. You know, I've heard the prices of puppies have gone absolutely out of the, you know, the window. But, you know, getting a puppy or a dog when you're at home all the time, and then your situation might change and you're out more. So obviously the dog has only known lots of people in the house, and then suddenly there's nobody in the house. So how does that work?
Yeah, well, we see a lot of that. So there's two consequences of lockdown. One is far more cases of separation anxiety, which is what you're describing, but also that dogs during those critical periods of development are not getting that wealth of positive experience that they would want. So for instance, when your puppy first goes to the vet, in those critical stages of development, you want it to be really positive, and yet now the puppy just gets taken away from you. And so how traumatic, the first introduction to the vet, the dog is not only terrified, but gets jabbed as well. So, you know, there's the two sides to it. The separation anxiety piece is fairly straightforward to tackle if your owners are empowered with the knowledge to start with. So it's not rocket science, but, you know, you have to make sure you leave your dog alone for a few hours, perhaps every week or every day in the house, even if you're there, because if your dog can't tolerate while you're in the home office upstairs for a couple of hours, then absolutely the dog won't tolerate it if you then leave the house. So separation anxiety can be more straightforward to work on, but you have to start in really, really, really small steps. It might be you leave for 30 seconds, 5 seconds to start
do
with.
something like that.
Yeah.
So obviously at the moment with lockdown, you know, a lot of I can hear my dog scratching at the door to come in. Go away, Barney.
Mine are all in here, so I don't judge at all.
Well, normally he is in here, but he didn't want to be in, so I've locked him out, and now he wants to come in. So a lot of your stuff has been face to face, but obviously now we're in lockdown. I know you were saying that you're actually doing quite a lot of stuff online, and it works really well, which sounds a bit weird because you would think you would need to be face to face, but actually you don't.
You don't. So I do some online. Dog behaviourists are allowed to do home visits still, but only in exceptional circumstances. So if you have a client who doesn't have a webcam, doesn't have a smartphone. So I have done a few of those, but online is beautiful in that if you have a dog who's highly anxious of people, I can see what the dog is like without suddenly walking into their space. I can feel that natural behaviour, and also for you as the owner, you're more relaxed, you're in your own home, and it's quite easy, you know, to set up with a Zoom call. And I typically have a WhatsApp video as well, so I can chat with the owner on the WhatsApp video, but the big screen has got a view of the room and the dog. So it's remarkable. And puppy classes, who knew the first few puppy classes could work online? But it's awesome.
So one of the final questions really is, well, two, I've got two. In terms, you're obviously looking for, you know, dog owners who have got dogs who might have issues, or want some training for fun. But you're also looking for connections with vets and dog groomers, animal physiotherapists as well. Is that right?
Anyone in the pet industry who might come across dogs who need a little bit more support. So my paddock is at Farraby Farm, and they have 2 private dog paddocks where you can hire the paddock and go and train your dog. So actually they've referred people on to me where people have taken their dog to the private paddock, let them off the lead, and then have been unable to get them back on the lead to leave the paddock. So it's been quite a situation. So someone like that just might be able to say, oh, look, we've got this good trainer, behaviourist round the corner, who might be able to help you. So yeah, people in the pet industry who are themselves looking to build a long-term network in the area. Because I want to be doing this for the next...
You said Farraby Farm, and I know that's kind of near Baldock, Hinxworth, in Bedfordshire.
Yes.
So where do you cover? Obviously, virtually it doesn't really matter, but face to face, and obviously you can go around to houses. So I don't know how far your catchment area is.
So I cover Stevenage, Hitchin, Letchworth, Baldock, and then really up the A1 corridor. So Arlesey, Stockfold, Biggleswade, Sandy. For behaviour work, I would go up towards St Neots, but I think if we just said up to North Sandy, really, because ultimately, even if we're doing online work, it would still be good for us to work together at that paddock at some point, rather than, you know, for all of us doing all of the driving. But I have lots of connections who are also regulated behaviourists. So if someone needs help outside of that area, please feel free to send them to me, because I'll know someone who's regulated, because much like accountancy, you don't have to be regulated. So you get people who have very little in terms of training, perhaps, you know, a week's online course, and they can set themselves up as a behaviourist. So always good to go through your network, even if I'm outside of the area.
Okay, thank you, Emma. So how can people get hold of you? I know you've got a website and various Facebook groups as well, Facebook pages.
So probably Facebook's the best one, which is at Harmony Dog Behaviour. most of my work is through Facebook. I do have a website, which is www.harmony.dog, and that lists all the services, gives a bit of background. And actually on the front page, it's the booking system as well. So if you want to book yourself an agility one-to-one, you can just go online and book yourself on there. And I'm on Instagram as well, which is just Harmony Dogs.
Brilliant, thank you, Emma. It's such an interesting topic, and especially if you like me, are a dog owner, and I know we've been on a couple of dog walks, and it's lovely to see the dogs jumping all over the place, especially yours. They're so boisterous. They just go running for miles. Mine's little and just trots along, you know.
Yeah.
But thanks ever so much, Emma. Lovely to talk to you, and catch you soon.
Thanks, Louise.